Hello everyone, Helen Yu here at Cisco Live. My first Cisco Live. I'm really excited to be joined by two senior leaders from Equinix, Gordon Macintosh and Dale Tucker. Today at Cisco Live, during the keynote, Cisco declared that we've entered networking super cycle. What that means is that agents don't just click, they swarm. So I like to explore how Equinix and the secure AI factory ecosystem are building infrastructure and interconnection to make agentic AI infrastructure possible. But before we do that, let's have both of you introduce yourself. Let's start with Gordon. Tell us about you and your role at
Yeah, absolutely. And it's firstly, it's brilliant to be here. The energy at Cisco Live is tremendous, and there's obviously a lot of excitement about what's going on in the market and the opportunities that lie ahead. My responsibility at Equinix is leading the partner organization globally.
Lucky you.
Yeah, very much so. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Dale, what about you?
Well, I echo what Gordon says. It's great to be at Cisco Live. I lead the go-to-market strategy with several of our top technology alliances, including Cisco and NVIDIA. It's really exciting to see this convergence between Cisco and NVIDIA with respect to how they are fueling the future of AI strategy, reference architecture, and how we're going to go to market together.
That's a great segue for my question to you, right? Let's talk about the partnership with NVIDIA and Cisco. How does that unlock the opportunity for your customers who are moving from AI pilot to production?
Yeah, so what Cisco and NVIDIA are doing together right now is really leading the shift from where to find AI capacity to deployment, secure, distributed, operational models, right? So Cisco and NVIDIA are essentially defining what that reference architecture stack looks like. That begins with partner storage, that's VAST, Hitachi, NetApp, Pure. On top of that is Cisco Compute, powered by NVIDIA. Then Cisco networking and optics, and on top of that, platform software and NVIDIA AI software. So that's that reference architecture stack. And then what Equinix brings to the table is we're the place to land and securely deploy that infrastructure and connect it where enterprises are located and doing business.
Okay, that's fantastic. So Gordon, what is Equinix's position on the physical infrastructure, digital platform, and global interconnection that really enables partner that single vendor approach does not work?
Yeah, I mean, like things are moving so quickly at the moment. It's a very changing environment. And if you go back just, maybe a few quarters, a year or two, AI was really experimental. It was early on. It was about access to GPUs, about testing environments. We're shifting now, which is really exciting, into the production AI, which is really going to have to be based on secure networking, cloud adjacency, data access. And that's where Equinix is a customer neutral, co-location with tens of thousands of customers, thousands of interconnections, adjacencies to many cloud providers, creates an extremely dense ecosystem that AI will just really thrive on. And that's why companies like Cisco, really feel that, Cisco will run a lot better on that Equinix ecosystem.
It's really great to be in that position where you can work with anybody, right? Pretty much in the agentic AI era.
Well, that's in our DNA as a company.
So Dale, Equinix's latest thinking on AI success is less about the GPU power, more about the collaboration coordination. So tell us what are leaders still missing today?
Well, what leaders may be missing, and certainly what they should not overlook, is that this isn't just about models. This is about distributed, complex infrastructure. We're talking about multiple data sources, multiple tools, multiple agents, and myriad policies. The second area is data gravity and governance. So not all data can be deployed to public cloud or centralized because there are concerns about regulated data, sensitive data, broad sovereignty concerns. And so that becomes a critical factor in decision making around deployment. And then finally, and maybe most importantly, networking and operational readiness. So production AI workloads require low latency, consistent performance, security, observability. These are elements that Cisco brings very much to the table, but AI infrastructure in total needs to be looked at as distributed, connected, and secure. And that's what the combination of Cisco, NVIDIA, and Equinix bring to customers and to partners.
We can finally have the best of both worlds, right? There are no more trade-off like what we used to have.
Correct.
Yeah. So Gordon, what do the Cisco's networking capability and Equinix interconnection fabric fit naturally, and especially for the hybrid multi-cloud AI deployment?
Absolutely. And Cisco is so strong in enterprise networking and SD-WAN, observability, AI infrastructure, and as importantly or most importantly, security. And then you combine this with Equinix, where we have 280 data centers across the world, many of which are in some really dense metro areas.
Every time I talk to you, the number goes up.
Yes, there you go. Well, it's 280 plus, growing all of the time because demand is super high. And there we have, purpose-built AI infrastructure and this ecosystem density that, companies like Cisco and Equinix and NVIDIA can come together, and it really makes it the perfect place to connect everything, as Dale mentioned, very securely and in a very consistent fashion.
So that leads to my next question, Dale, right? I have a lot of customers, they have a fantastic cloud strategy, but they're still struggle when it comes to last mile connectivity. So tell us a little bit more about how do solving these challenge change for AI workloads?
Yeah, well, last mile connectivity is where AI strategy can either accelerate or stall. You can have all the right cloud architecture, the right data strategy, the right models, but if enterprises are not connected securely, predictably, at scale, then AI is fragmented. So what Equinix brings to our partners, to our customers, is private, low latency connectivity to clouds, to networks, to data, to AI ecosystems, and it's really where enterprises operate. So we're ubiquitous and able to serve them where they are and ensure that they're connected to the ecosystem partners that they rely on. So it moves AI from isolated instances to distributed production-ready platforms.
I love that you meet where the customers are rather than force them to change for your infrastructure.
Well, and that is the power of our ecosystem. We have thousands of clouds and neo clouds, thousands of networks, 10,000 plus customers, everything that customers and partners need to connect with and to is in Equinix.
Love that. So Gordon, how are you building this ecosystem or partner motion that really for resellers or SI so they can deliver what you promised to deliver to customers?
Absolutely. And then you said it well, Helen. It's really about the power of the ecosystem. It's all about the ecosystem now coming together to deliver better customer experiences. So we're working really with some of the most strategic partners of Cisco, NVIDIA, then Equinix, to deliver repeatable solutions and use cases that accelerate time to value for our partners and for our customers and reduce a lot of friction. So one perfect example is actually with Presidio, who are launching some secure, path labs today. And those are based on Cisco's secure AI factory and also an NVIDIA reference architecture, and then hosted and securely connected to Equinix. So it's really an example of a fully integrated production grade AI environment that's been purpose built for the enterprise customer. And that's the magic of Equinix, and it's the magic of an amazing ecosystem pulling together, in this instance, Cisco, Equinix, NVIDIA, Presidio, to create, just a delightful customer experience. That's what we're focused on. Ultimately, we're focused on the customer and making sure that our data centers, continue to have that ecosystem connection and interconnection for those customers.
I love that. So the agentic AI era demands more than just computing power, and it requires secure AI factory ecosystem. You're building that global interconnection. So thank you for what you do. I really appreciate both of your time. Hopefully I'll see you around at the sessions.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.